I hope you guys enjoy this video. Let's go ahead and get started. So primers here that I want to try. We have the LILAC Light Source 3-in-1 Illuminating Primer, fancy. And then we have the Hourglass Veil Mineral Base, which has SPF. I'm gonna go with the LILAC Light Source because I want this look to be very luminous, and this is also a face primer, foundation additive, highlighter, 3-in-1. Just gonna take a little bit of this. We're gonna apply it. Aw, shit. We're not supposed to apply it there, but hey, it's there. So this is like an illuminating primer. I want, when the sun hits me at Coachella, I just want to beam from within. This is the shade Dusk, by the way. I was a little concerned that the highlight part would like accentuate pores, but I think it looks fine. So for foundation, I'm going to be using the Naked Skin One and Done. This has SPF, so it's good for daytime events like this, and it's a hybrid complexion perfector. So we're going to use a lot of that. A lot of that. What I'm going to do is put it on with a small face buffing brush. This is a Morphe G40. So I'm just going to work that into the skin all over. It really covered any acne scarring and pigmentation right away. Anywhere you want more coverage with foundation or concealers, you want to make sure to pat over those areas. Like buff, but then kind of pat over it to really pack that product in that area. This foundation looks really good with this brush, and I didn't even use barely any of it. This is another new product for me. This is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Eye Lift in a tube. Their Bye Bye Under Eye Original is really, really good, so I'm going to try this. It has two ends, correcting concealer side and then a brightening illuminating side. So I'm going to go in with the correcting concealing side first. That already brightens a lot. I can't imagine what the brightening side does. I'm just gonna put it in this inner part of the eye though. This is in the shade Tan. That's got me looking pretty woke. Alright, so next, oh shit, I have my Netflix on. Oh, I always have my Netflix on when I'm filming. So next I'm gonna use the RCMA setting powder. This is a translucent powder, and I'm just gonna lightly put that under the eye. So I wore this the last 2 days. Yesterday, Steven's sister got married, and it was so beautiful. I wore this the night before that and on the day of the wedding, and I swear my concealer lasted way longer. I didn't look like by the end of the day, I thought I was gonna look like the Tales of the Crypt Keeper, but I looked normal. My under eyes looked fine. So I think I've made a switch to this powder. I didn't bake with that under eye powder either on the wedding or the night before, and it looked really good. I just lightly pressed it. I was surprised that my makeup lasted so long because I did my makeup really, really early in the morning so that I could go to the wedding and do my sister-in-law's makeup for, she was the bride. I did her wet makeup, and then I did my mother-in-law's makeup, and I was just running around all day, and I didn't really touch up. I think I touched up one time with like light powder on my nose, but besides that, nothing, and my makeup stayed all day. I actually mixed the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte with the Armani Magical. This is really long-lasting. I actually had an allergic reaction, and I thought that it was this, but I was like, I used to wear this all the time. Is it this? I decided to try it again, and it wasn't this. We haven't broken up, so we're good. All right, what am I doing next? Oh my gosh. Dude, yeah, that primer is incredible. Okay, look at my high point in my face. I have not applied highlight yet, and my skin is lit, okay? Do you see this? I'm telling you, that looks really good. We're gonna go straight into highlight, I believe, and we wanna be lit, okay? We're gonna be Lewis lit. So like I used in my last video, I'm gonna go in with this iconic London illuminator, and I'm gonna apply that with my beauty blender. I like to really blend it first on the back of my hand before I put it on my face, because if you dip it directly in and just go straight on, it might look a little crazy. But once you really blend it in, it starts to look a lot nicer. You can turn your beauty blender around too to get the edges and blend them out as well. Also want to put this a little bit above the brow bone. I'm also going to apply it right here on the tip of the nose. And I think I'm going to take a smaller concealer brush so that I could put it right here on this highlight of the nose. This is more of a fun, festive look, so I'm kind of doing extreme highlights. It's going to be over the top. I'm kind of highlighting like as if I was looking at a painting and there was like really, really highlighted high points on the face of the painting. Like just light beaming is what I'm going for. You can always go back in with your foundation brush and like buff out any of the edges just so that it looks seamless and not streaky. I'm also gonna put this on my clavicles. let's just put it everywhere. This is probably the exact skin routine that I'm gonna do when I go to Coachella. And I'm going week 1, I can't wait. I'm also putting it on the Cupid's bow, and it's a super dramatic highlight here, okay? This highlight is pretty dramatic on its own, and I want to make sure to set it so that it doesn't slide around throughout the day, which I don't think it will because it does dry, but just in case, I'm going to set it, and I'm going to use the new Too Faced highlight, and this is You Light Up My Life. See, these are baked highlights. Baked highlights usually aren't as like, bam, you know, they don't give you the biggest glow, but it's going to be really nice over top of this because this is already giving us that glow. And this has a really nice sheen, so I'm just going to apply this more for setting since we already have the intensity. And I'm just using a fan brush here. This is gonna give everything a really nice golden look too. Like I said, foundation brush nearby so I could make sure the edges are blended. So you're gonna be in sunlight, you wanna make sure everything is really nice, seamless. So now you can go ahead and set any part of your face that gets oily. For me, that's my nose. I found that this is the best powder to touch up throughout the day. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish. I'm in the shade number 2, which is medium. I just kind of press this onto the apples of my cheeks and my nose, sides of my nose. The nice thing about this powder is that you can continue to touch up your face all day and it doesn't get cakey. It like is so finely milled that it just takes away the shine, and that's it. Also, just gonna place that right here on the center of my forehead. Next, I'm going to be using Benefit's Hoola Bronzer. This is like a really great bronzer. I know everybody talks about it all the time, but I've recently just started using it a lot, and I really, really like it. I'm taking this large fluffy NARS brush and just applying this right under the highlight and kind of carving into the highlight like this, softly. And I'm going to go in with bronzer. Don't forget to take it up to the forehead as well. For this makeup look, I'm really spending most of the time on the skin. It's not so much going to be the eye makeup. I want the skin to just be glowing, beaming, living, and more than usual. I'm also going to take the Hoola Bronzer, and we're going to accentuate the Cupid's bow because we want it to look deep. Defined. Thank you. Take the Smith brush. I find it's perfect for this, contouring the Cupid's bow. I saw Katie do this in her like face chart paint video, and I was one of those moments where my mind was blown because her Cupid's bow looked so good. So now, you know, I've been doing it lately. Hoola Bronzer is great for this. You just want to like make it look nice and defined. Don't go too crazy though, but you know, just a little. Also gonna use Hoola to contour my nose and everything else on my face with a Smith 247 brush, and we're gonna hit it one time here on the nose, and I'm starting up here in this inner socket, popping it right there, and I'm also going to brush that up into the brows. This is why I haven't done my brows yet, because I need to really work on the skin and I don't want to have to worry about working around my brows. And then taking a smaller brush, I'm going to use this on the tip of the nose to define it as well. For brows, I'm using the Benefit Ka-Brow number 4. This one is just foolproof. It lasts the longest. It's not going to rub off or look patchy on me. I'm just going to run a little brow gel through them really quick. Then we're going to go in with this. And I'm just going to use the brush that comes with it and try to do some hair-like strokes, starting with like the most sparse area that I have here. And I make sure I have a spoolie close by to brush through it, soften it up. Now we're done with our brows. We're gonna move on to the eyeshadow. I want it to be more of a simple look. Like I said, there's a lot going on with the skin and then the silver as well. So I'm taking the MAC 24-hour eyeshadow base and just an IT Cosmetics Chic eyeshadow brush. And I'm gonna run this along the lids. So for the lids, we're gonna be using not very many eyeshadows, maybe even just one. We'll see how it goes. But I'm going into the Urban Decay Moon Dust palette, and I'll be using Lithium, which is the shade right here. It's really pretty. It's like taupey and it has really nice reflex in it. So I'm gonna actually just take that lithium shade on my finger. I find that these pigments apply better when you apply them with your finger than a brush. It's actually a lot darker than I anticipated it to be, but we're gonna make it work. So now I'm gonna take a flat brush and blend this out. Trying to keep most of the pigment in the center. That's where I did the finger swatch, and then blend this out everywhere else. And what's pretty about these eyeshadows is when you blend it out, all the reflex blend. So when you're in the sunlight, it looks so sparkly and pretty. These lights don't show glitter as well because they're softer, but you know what I mean? Like just imagine being in the sun. Just know that this shadow looks poppin' outside of this light. Now I'm gonna go into the Baked Browns palette. This is by Dose of Colors. And I think I'm going to take this shade right over here. This is a Dose of Colors pencil brush. And I'm just just gonna smoke the lower lash line with this. Taking a blending brush, a clean-ish one, and I'm going to make sure that's all diffused. And I'm also gonna take that shade right here into the brow bone. Kind of where we applied the bronzer earlier, just really like intensify it more right here. And then whatever's left over, just swish it in the crease. Next, I'm taking Makeup Geek's Americano on a MAC 228. I'm gonna just apply this right here in the center of the under eye. We've changed directions here. I said the eyes were gonna be really simple, but that's before I saw how the eyeshadow looked on my lid. When I tried it on my hand, I felt like it wasn't as dark. I mean, it's not that dark, but you know, we're making different moves here. Blending it out with that pencil brush we used earlier. So now we're taking the Lancome Doll Lashes Mascara, applying a light coat. Next, I'm just gonna apply House of Lashes Iconic Lights. These are perfect because I can't really feel myself wearing these, and they are very fluttery and fluffy. I'm just gonna come up from the top. Next, we're gonna go into the Makeup Forever Flash Palette, and I'm gonna be taking the silver, which is right over here. It's just like a cream paint, and I'm using a Sigma Angled Pixel Concealer Brush. Now, I'm very nervous because I have to get a straight line down my face right now. So let's all hold our breaths and hope for the best. Here we go. Also going to like get a little down here. I'm just gonna go ahead and put some brown liner in my waterline. This is the Marc Jacobs. I'm just gonna run it through lower lash line. I got these little stars from Joann's, and I just put a tiny bit of Duo Lash Glue at the back. And I'm gonna line them up with my pupil and put them right around here. Boom. I'm taking these baby stars here. They're a little bit smaller than these. And I'm gonna stick them right out here. Lastly, I'm going to use this Artist Couture lip gloss. So my lips are glossy. And then, of course, you can use some setting spray. Alright, so this is the finished festival makeup look. I love these little stars. If you guys don't like the line, because I know the line can be a little bit different, so if you don't like the line, you could just do the stars and any real makeup look. I just think these are really cute for Coachella. You just pick them up at your...